Whoa! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel or even the Patreon where we're currently watching from, and today I'll be doing my first listen / full-on album review to Illit's first mini album titled Super Real Me. Please correct me if I'm wrong in terms of the group pronunciation, and don't mind me if I'm butchering it here and there, because as much as I'm uber familiar with the group and the members, as some of y'all may already know, ever since the RU Next days that I don't really want to talk about, and on the Patreon where I've checked out a lot of variety already, and is trying to continue their reality show where I left off, I still need to get down the group pronunciation of their name and all, so please don't mind me. But hey, staying on track here, Magnetic. Absolutely loved their title track and the music video attached to it, to the point where it was so mad catchy. Like, just to wind it back to the time where I checked out the highlight medley, I was anticipating plug and B genre. Great, right? And they did it. But not only that, they not only met my expectations, they exceeded my expectations through the roof, which was phenomenal aesthetic wise. Visually throughout the music video, it really matched the vibes that were going on with the plug and B influence and genre, but also providing very catchy hooks and a chorus that is so memorable, was so important to me, as well as the other vocal moments, such as by Minju in verse 1 with "Love Dub," you know, that's like, I feel like that moment needs to be talked upon more, because every time you listen to the song, you get to uncover more and more with a little bit of nuances and satisfying moments. But aside from that, we got 3 new tracks. I remember adoring all 3 during the highlight medley, so let's just dive into the album review now. Alright, so the first track we have here is titled My World. I remember this song during the highlight medley being very dreamlike with it, but seeing familiar names all around, of course, individuals from HYBE within, but also the collective of 153 Jumbas. That collective has been incredible for the K-pop scene. I can't emphasize that enough. A collective that I really do admire and adore. Speaking of that collective, Yijin from 153 Jumbas has worked with ENHYPEN, all of our favorite artists from HYBE, TXT, you name it, right? ZB1 as well, In Bloom, if I recall correctly, and even more of their songs, has worked with Triple S as well, and even Shiny. So it covers a lot of range in terms of, would say, the people that they really brought in to work upon this track, as well as the other tracks, because some of these individuals has worked with Oh My Girl for some B-sides and other groups, you name it, twice as well. So the range is huge, even Le Seraphim, but I'm gonna bring it up here right away. My World. Keep in mind there can be lost in translation when it comes to these lyric videos, and obviously sometimes color-coded lyrics can be incorrect, or half of the time, or most of the time I should say. Make sure that this is good, and let's go. Ooh. I like this bass with Minju. Yeah, so cool. And the one he. Oh, Mocha. Such adorable moment here. Chorus. I love the bubble-like sound effects and the harp work in the back there. Almost like a harp, pretty much. Oh, Yuna. Pepperoni top pizza, sure. Here we go now. This is my world. Too, so satisfying. Isn't it a bit strange? This is my world. This is my world. Yo. Aside from this being like a crime of being way too short, like throwback to the likes of Mask by Kepler or some songs by Joe Yuri, like, we need more. Like, can this at least go into the 2-minute and 30-second mark? Please, like, clock in as much as that much. I'm not asking for a lot, right? Because I don't mind getting the chorus yet again or additional verse in this song to prolong it more. But, like, then again, you know, I felt like Magnetic was brief with it, but uber effective to the point where it's very streamable. So we're seeing a common trend here, of course, and that's unfortunately due to how things are trying to be catered towards current generation and, like, you know, when we have TikTok and all these shorts and all attention span, you name it. But, like, I mess with My World a lot because it really suits them, most importantly. And I want to stress this even more. Like, when it comes to Magnetic, the first thing I noticed was the youthfulness, the playfulness, and how genuine that song was with the vocal work. And it felt like there was good intentions behind the song and in terms of the artistic direction for this group, right? So with, like, My World, I love how it's saying, hey, this is my world. This is who I am. This is what I like. I like pepperoni pizza, and I'm going to do my thing, right? So this is, like, a great way to intro in the album. It's almost like an intro, but it's not really an intro, you know what I'm saying? Hence the duration, right? But it sets up this album really well, assumingly right away for the other tracks, and it sets the tone of what we're gonna get from Illit, right? Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to dive back into this because it was way too short simply, and I want to break down things a bit more, talk about my favorite moments, obviously, and hear out more of the instrumentation. So let's do that right away. I like how it's like a filtered out harp type string work in the back there with the bubble underwater sound effects going on. I will never get tired of Minju like kickstarting Illit's music because, like, she really grabs your attention right away in their music based on 2 songs alone. What I was saying with Magnetic and now with My World, her vocal tone and her unique vocal color that I mentioned during the survival show days, obviously, and just with the days going by and leading into the debut, she's grown a lot, right? Matter of fact, all of them have, and I can't even imagine, you know, several years down the road, what is this group going to be? I'm sort of, you know, getting ahead of myself here, but, like, this is just beautiful, everyone. This line right here. Here's my invitation. Yeah, so cool. So there's a bit of, like, that, like, cafe, not cafe, but, like, a crowd sound effect there in the back. A lot of, you know, loops and samples being done for sure in this song to provide that aesthetic. Such a fitting Mocha moment, and I love that like back and forth teeter-totter moment from Mocha and Iroha. But then with Yuna here, I remember seeing people on TikTok saying, hey, but Magnetic doesn't really suit Yuna. I don't understand why people have to be so negative and point out things such as that, because at the end of the day, can't we all agree that Magnetic is really good? You know, you feel me? And I feel like there is gonna be an era and a time where people will wake up to what Yuna has shown back on the survival show days. This is just the tip of the iceberg with Magnetic and My World here, right? My world. Pretty simple, but simple does not mean boring, right? I feel like people get it twisted all the time that simple is boring, but no, when things are minimalistic, laid back, simple, oh my goodness, sometimes it can be this good to the point where it ends up being a whole vibe, am I right? So this is My World. There's this nice sing-alongable factor, and I could just foresee myself looping this song constantly. Let's progress here. Okay, verse. This verse 2, in the frame of your life only, I can't come out and cry, smiling at the taste of pepperoni top pizza. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember the last time I've heard pepperoni pizza specifically in a song, am I right? But here we are in this year. This is my world. There's a nice bounce with the bass as well, and as we go here, I like how they bring back the bass a bit to wrap it up so cleanly like this. This is my world. Good. We're off to a really good start here, everyone. My World. Too short for my liking, but I'm all for it. Aside from that, we're definitely going to have to check out the live performance. If I recall correctly from their showcase, they had one for My World as well. So stay tuned for that, of course. But yeah, let's just get into the next track now. So this next track is titled Midnight Fiction. If I recall correctly, this was the one that slightly stood out more from the other tracks on the highlight medley in the first go-round of things. But okay, I'm seeing familiar names. Donkey has worked with many of my favorites, such as Twice, such as Billy, right, if I recall correctly, with Kim Suji as well from La 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 Studio. But Nojuan has worked with many of our favorite groups, whether it be Le Sserafim recently with We Got So Much, right? We got so much love, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely one of my favorites off of that album. Also with the likes of Fromis 9, okay? And I feel like Nojuan has really put out so much music for my favorites. Even Crybaby by Triple S, right? And Nojuan, style-wise, I tend to sense songs that are very playful, fun, lush, and vibrant, yet dreamlike at times with the synth string work and quite a bit of synth work, of course. So I'm not going to be surprised if that ends up being the case here with Midnight Fiction. So let's just dive into it. See what I'm saying with Minju? Gently close my eyes. I love the constant strumming with the vocal layering here and blending. It's sending me already. Okay, it's picking up now with the synth string work in the back as well. How can something be so chilled, laid back, but such a jam too? Whoa! This verse 2 though is going crazy. Yes, Mocha. Bring it back. Oh my goodness. This is hands down my favorite song so far already. It's like so up my alley in terms of taste. And I'll tell you guys why after. Bridge. Yo, Midnight Fiction. I am so snatched right now. Like, this is so catchy yet so satisfying, and it really puts you on cloud 9. It feels like you're drifting away with this song. Can't believe, like I said earlier, that this is the tip of the iceberg for this group, Illit. Because, like, considering that this is just the beginning and they are just sending it, like, nothing's missing. Everything is a clear 9.5 or 10 out of 10 for me. Obviously, my world 9.5 for me because of the duration and of me wanting a little bit more. But Midnight Fiction is that 10, that 11 out of 10 level of song that is just, there's no comparison. Like, it's full stops my favorite. There's no way, okay? If the next track ends up being even crazier, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go insane, matter of fact. But what's so brilliant about Midnight Fiction, it not only showcases their vocal work really well, it showcases their vocal capabilities and just the certain techniques that are implemented. Whoever's, the people working behind the scenes, whoever vocal directed this, most importantly, because I can't emphasize this enough, vocal direction comes into play very heavily, 110% all the way, for all of our favorite groups, how the distribution goes. But at the end of the day, whoever's doing the vocal directing is not deciding that. The label is deciding the distribution. So I don't want you guys to get twisted and get upset at certain singer-songwriters because it's not up to them at the end of the day. But what I was trying to say is, it really goes to show you don't need peak high vocal moments, something over the top, something that's gonna, flex all the vocal, chops in the final chorus and the final go around and all, or even throughout. And at the same time, I feel like it's very clear, Minju, she's taken up this, like, main vocal role, where we also have another brilliant main vocalist, such as Mocha. You can't really go wrong with, honestly, all of them, because I've seen what they've been capable of, and that was quite some time ago, but I can't even imagine now. I can't emphasize that enough. And then you have Yuna, where she makes great as not only a leader, as some of us may already know, but a lead vocalist who lead things really well and guides the members almost throughout their own music. You feel me? But Instrumentally wise, we're gonna have to break it down more in a second go around here, obviously. But notice how everything's cohesive. Magnetic, that there's that, sort of I like you moment. Another, not necessarily significant other one, but like there's this gravitational magnetic pull of liking someone and maybe that person liking them back. But then My World, I love how it's an intro to the group, and then the Midnight Fiction, this is like, oh, this is my teenage dream. This is, I want to, live in a life of fantasy and make my own story, right? And there's a moment where it talks about ending credits that I want to go back on and really read up again. But yeah, I'm going to point out the sections, my favorite moments that really, really intrigued me and that I absolutely love. Is it just me, or Minju has such a storytelling voice? Like, it really makes me wonder what if this group ends up taking a folk route, like a storytelling, I really want to say it, like Taylor Swift type lyricism, where they end up releasing something uber meaningful, but like have a storyline to the lyrics. Because if there's anything that I want to hear is that, because I'm really interested in that, seeing how it would play out for them. I feel like they would do it so much justice in terms of that influence and style. But on the other hand, I don't mind listening to a track that would take the UK garage or breakbeat route, a genre that is starting to get really popular in the K-pop scene, obviously with New Jeans up there, but oh, that was so smooth. Go back there. Okay. Oh my goodness. But yeah, essentially what I'm getting is just the layers here. The layers and the constant strumming that's going on. Oh my goodness. It really goes to show you it doesn't take much to really make a really good song. How this was mixed and mastered too, it was very clean. Very clean. I don't hear any loose ends, right? At least on this second go around. And then I love how it picks it up with the bass here. But listen, in the back here, that synth string work. It's crest ever so slightly in the back here. It may seem so minimal, but it adds a lot of texture to the song. It adds to the vibe that we're getting, right? Like, come on, you can't tell me too, like, that Illit would rock a city pop song as well. They could rock so many genres. I could name a lot endlessly, right? So there is no ceiling for this group. I'm gonna say it right away. There is no ceiling, it seems like. I like how she drags the fantasy, there. Funny. Great riff works. The strumming, you can hear the threads of the guitar. Minju here. This verse 2 has to be my favorite. Actually, then again, I really loved verse 2 during Magnetic, their title track. But this verse 2 has to be one of the best verse 2s out there of this year in 2024. Seriously, guys, because listen to this. Listen closely. Just that brief moment there is where I'm like, okay, Minju has truly not only a one-of-a-kind voice and vocal color, but like Notice the storytelling like voice right here. Mystery, apocalypse, romantic comedy. This talks about that midnight fiction, that mystical, journey that they're taking, and that maybe when they're in their dreams they will live through that, right? In life itself, it can be a mystery. Times can feel so low like that, but there are times where you could fall in love, and there's times where you have fun and have a good laugh and all. But I like how she's listing out all of these right here like that, but it just sounds like they could take a song that has true lyricism. I mean, I'm not saying that this doesn't have lyricism, because this obviously matches with the concept and matches for their, age, right? Reminds me of what like Volgan would do too. Like, funny enough, for those who are familiar. That's cool. So the strumming is more so panned on the left side of our ears in this moment here. Some risers in the back there. Something like that. Scenario. Just how things are more so prolonged and dragged in terms of the lines. Just the little sub details, whether it's dead smack in the middle, constantly done by Minju in verse 2, or Wonhee with scenario, I feel like I nailed the reference. Like, search up Bubblegum, please. Like, it really makes me think that this group can do K-indie music as well. Fantasy. Give it to us right now. It's a shame. Ending credits. I love that rapid fire cannon transition, and then this follow up, obviously by Wonhee. So from Iraha into Wonhee, this was a brilliant. If I had to choose a third favorite moment aside from verse 2 and the chorus, it's this bridge right here, without a doubt. Just how things are being so delicate, sweetly, and lightly. Midnight fiction. Fantasy. I love how there's this sing-along ball factor too. This moment, I don't want to skip over this moment. It may seem so minimal, but I like this bit of a switch-up moment here to wrap up the song with Yana. Because at the end of the day, when you're young, you just want to play games, you just want to have fun, live your childhood. I feel like people get it very twisted of like, young people trying to make a lot of money when they're young, you know what I'm saying? For those who know what I'm talking about. But like living your childhood and like enjoying having fun constantly, that's truly about the childhood and your teenage days and all, right? So it's like, I really appreciate what they've put down here in Midnight Fiction. Like, finally a time where we have a group that's coming through with pure intentions, singing from their hearts, and like at the same time, right, doing something that works for them. Nothing that is like out of their range in terms of maturity, right? In terms of like, I remember Are You Next Days, I was concerned about the high heel choreo segment part or wherever. Sorry if I'm spoiling stuff. But like, I am in love with this song. Clearly, I feel like this is gonna be one of my top favorite B-sides of this year. I'm calling it right away. But how about you guys? Let me know in the comment section down below and why you love why you love it, right? Is it because of my same reasons or even more? But hey, let's dive into the other track now. Last but not least, we have Lucky Girl Syndrome, still familiar names such as No Tuan, others who have worked with many of our favorites, even including G-Friend back in the day, and names that I'm gonna have to familiarize myself a bit more because I don't, quite frankly speaking, I don't know the entirety of the 153 Jumba's collective, because it seems like that collective keeps on growing and growing. But we also have Hitman Bang on this. We more than love to see it. Hitman Bang was all over this album pretty much for all tracks, including the title track. But Lucky Girl Syndrome, this one stood out to me as well during the highlight medley. And let's see what's all about. The whistling, yep, I remember this. Turn discs. Ooh. I like this uplifting energy that is positive in a way. Oh. I love these synths here. Oh. Uses a bit of that electric bass guitar work, but best choice. Oh my goodness. Oh, the honk, the beep beep. 808 claps. Oh, I love the build up here. Yep, building it back up. Wow, this is very youthful, but very meaningful, believe it or not, from what I'm seeing here and hearing out. Girl, 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 girl. Oh. There's those synth strings. I love that. Woo. Yuna. Oh yes, get your moment. The hi-hats. I wanted a little bit more there. Come on. Okay. 220. It is what it is, right? You get a short but sweet album and short but sweet tracks, but at least the title track isn't as short as My World, right? Let's be real with ourselves, okay? But like Lucky Girl Syndrome, I think if anything, this has to be the most meaningful and maybe relatable for some of y'all girls out there, right? And I would say just in general, teenagers out there, just, you know, living life, right? And this really provides that almost realization and that reassurance of like, everything's okay, right? You're lucky to be here in the first place, to have what you have, and to be appreciated about like life things, right? As simple as like just having a good time and be able to do things that you enjoy. Just the simple of things in life, right? So lucky to just be here, right? And I feel like more of us need to really keep that in our minds, right? I am lucky to, you know, wake up today and, you know, look out of the window and it being a nice day. We just need to find joy in the small things in life and find joy in the things that we love and soul search that more, you know what I'm trying to say here. But it really speaks of, in terms of the life things and being appreciative about life. And it's not necessarily all about luck, but more so that phrase of, oh, I'm so lucky to be here. We're so lucky to have you here in our presence. You know what I'm saying? Talking about even others in your life, right? But this is such a sweet song and meaningful at the same time. It's not like the other songs were not meaningful as well, but like I said, very cohesive with it, talking about those teenage days and living it to the fullest, right? And just wanting to have a good time. Maybe, obviously, young love when it comes to magnetic, obviously. But my world, intro, everything. I'm sort of getting ahead of myself here because we need to go into a second go around for Lucky Girl Syndrome because it was really good as well. I think it has to be my second favorite B-side for sure. I love that turn this, scratch this transition into Wanhee here. 808 claps. I'm lucky. So like, oh, perfect weather. I got the perfect playlist. Right, today selfie and all that. I get to do all these things, right? It may seem so small, and I feel like we look over some of these things, right? And yep, okay, I'd say I'm lucky to have this stuff, you know, and I'm lucky to just have good weather and just even the small things, be able to take a selfie, you know. I say I'm lucky, that's true, you know, the world of chocolate, the cheat code of positivity, Lucky Girl Syndrome. So there could be lost in translation here, but what I'm sort of getting here, there's a cheat code in life where we gotta find the joy in the littlest of things, no matter what. Maybe you're facing a challenge, maybe you're facing a situation. I feel like that time will pass, or, you know, take it as a learning experience, or more so of an opportunity instead, right? So, like, cheat code is truly positivity and having the right kind of mindset no matter what, no matter how hard things may be. That transition, oh my goodness. That O, it becomes very atmospheric with it, somewhat sustained, and then we go into Yenna here. I don't need a golden ticket, right? Where are we talking about a golden ticket from the candy bar, or like the lottery, anything like that? I don't need a golden ticket. You know, all I need is to truly believe in myself. And I find that, including myself, I have troubles maybe on a day-to-day basis or even here and there where I find difficulty in trusting my gut at times and believing in myself that I'm capable of what I'm currently doing, what I am doing, right? But we gotta have more faith in ourselves, and we don't have to be so tough on ourselves so constantly. That's a nice, friendly reminder to you guys as well, right? Oh, Yenna. I love that ma. Lucky girl. Luck. I love how it's done in this descending kind of manner and all. And then as we progress here after Iroha, right here, yes, right here. Breakfast, best choice. Oh my goodness, I am just these brief moments you get sent. It doesn't need, you don't even need one section. Just these small moments by the members, each and every single one of them. Oh my goodness, so beautiful with it. Love the taking of the hi-hats, the breakdown of the electronic or more so drum kit work going on. There goes a bit of the whistling yet again. sampling of a car honking the horn, beep beep, you know what I'm saying? In the eyes we met, in the burst of laughter. That was unexpected, maybe not necessary there, but it's a nice added nuance, per se. I like how these synths ascend, descend, and then ascend again, play with us a little bit. There's this drag and push and pull type feeling, right? Woo. A little bit of that laughter. See the details that I'm pointing out here? Whether it's the sampling, the laughter in the room, maybe they brought all the members to laugh in the recording room. You never know at the end of the day, because I remember mentioning this stuff here and there, and literally songwriters saying, yep, we did something like that to add that cheerful feel, right? Or maybe it's one of the members doing that, right? I can't even imagine what the performance is like for this song as well, too, now that I think about it. I love this instrumental break with the synth strings. These jolt of synth strings just being done like that. Oh my goodness. With the whistling and the drum kit work that's keeping the steady pacing to the song. And I mean, it makes so much sense working with the likes of G-Friend, working with the likes of Triple S, working pretty much all of my favorites. No wonder why this song is so up my alley in terms of taste as well. Lucky girl syndrome. I love just the syllable work too, because I want to point this out. It may seem so minimal, but that syllable work, Sin, the lucky girl. Back a bit. Syndrome. A little bit of vocal filtering there with Wanhee to wrap things up so cleanly. Oh my goodness, what a first mini album. Can I necessarily call it a mini album? I guess so, when you got multiple tracks. At least we weren't shortchanged with instrumentals and maybe remixes, because at the end of the day, I feel like we can be bombarded with remixes too much, and some albums being very sneaky, putting in a bunch of instrumentals, then calling it a mini album or even a full album, the matter of fact. So it's like, at least we're not shortchanged on that end. I feel like even though this album as a whole, this first mini album, Super Real Me, is short and brief, it's uber effective of what Illit's trying to convey and what their true identity is. This day and age, I find it comparably to than 4 years ago, it's difficult to get a sense of what a new group is going for in terms of identity, especially when it comes to their debut. Because at the end of the day, you're not expected to understand the true identity of the group and what they're gonna go for stylistically. But considering how cohesive this first mini album, I can already tell what they went for here. And it's just a matter of building upon this in the future. Considering that their music is this good, imagine a song that clocks in over 3 minutes. That song would go crazy. That song might end up being my favorite song when they release a song in terms of that kind of length and duration. Now, I'm not saying duration is what rules it all at the end of the day. It's a matter of the quality and the arrangement and all the little details to mixing and mastering, obviously. But it goes to show you that if there's a group that's doing songs justice in this brief kind of manner, it's Illit, for sure, without a doubt. Especially with My World. My World is stuck in this is my world. Na, 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 you know what I'm saying? And then you have Midnight Fiction that truly sends you to a whole different planet, and showcases their vocal work even more. And like the way that it's so up there with Magnetic is truly everything. Like, I can't wait to see the live performance of not only the other B-sides, but for sure, Midnight Fiction. I feel like if My World took the extra mile with it, though, it would be right up there with Midnight Fiction. Who's here with me, right? It's such a crime that My World is too short like that. But, like, if I'd have to pick an order, obviously, I would have to go with Midnight Fiction, then Lucky Girl Syndrome, then My World. Obviously, Magnetic is solid in the #1 spot. Can't go wrong with it. I'm glad that they decided Magnetic ended up being the title track, taking the plug and be route. But considering the smallest of details, the artistic direction, everyone working behind the scenes, and what considered what they want to put out for this group, I'm glad that they're doing their due diligence. It's just a matter of that first comeback, the follow-up, right? This is the initial splash. Can't believe it is just the tip of the iceberg. But let me know your favorite songs in the comment section down below. Did you enjoy this listening party, or more so first listen and album review? Was this insightful? Did you learn a little bit more of what you're hearing and what you're getting throughout these tracks? Like I said, I can't stress this enough. If I end up seeing this group clock in at 3 minutes for a certain song, I'm going to go out of my way real quick to check out that certain track. But hey guys, this was a masterpiece. This was a complete 10 out of 10 for me. To be fair, I should say 9.5 because of the duration things of My World. But hey, things could be always even more short. And I'm not going to be surprised if that trends in more so of that direction in the future. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe, as it goes a long way and helps out the channel so much. Feel free to check out the Patreon, because we're going to be kickstarting more variety. I can't emphasize that enough. Be ready, especially in the summertime. I'm not going to be surprised if we get the comeback as soon as then, right? Hopefully, maybe. Whether it be a single album or a mini album, I'm not complaining. Illit music is truly something else and a breath of fresh air, per se. But take care as always. This has been Garrison, and peace.